All right, so based off of everything we've heard, you're very talented. You write, you ghostwrite, you produce, you edit. There's a lot of things that you have under your belt. But to just get back into the rap lane, do you have your personal top 5 Nigerian rappers?
I don't have a top 5 like in an order of 1 to 5.
Sure.
I do have Nigerian rappers that I really appreciate, and I appreciate them for different reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in no particular order.
Okay.
MI.
Sure.
Vector.
Mm-hmm.
SDC, I enjoy a lot.
Okay.
I think they found the perfect blend of what Tribesman was trying to do. Fowls.
Okay.
Fowls is also someone who I think actually really took... If there's anyone that's doing what I wanted Tribesmen to sound like,
mm-hmm.
that's what he's doing. He's doing it to perfection.
Right.
So I really like Fowls. How many? Was that 4?
That's 4.
I'm not struggling. I'm trying to figure out who I give the number 5 to.
No, sure. 5 is limited. There's a lot of Nigerian rappers.
So, and I want to name the popular ones, because obviously there are Nigerian rappers that I know that people might not know. So
sure.
like Chitty Bang is flaming.
Mm-hmm.
I have to give number 5th spot to Olamide.
Right.
And the reason is because he is the most versatile Nigerian artist.
Mm-hmm.
That is an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. From a rap standpoint,
right.
and everything else that he's doing.
Right.
I gotta give it to him. Yeah.
Right, okay. Olamide is definitely in my top 5, so I feel you on that. But yeah, so based off of...
Sorry, let me just put in some notable mentions.
Sure.
Let me put some notable mentions.
Yeah, sure.
Not honorable.
Okay.
Notable, important.
Okay.
Important mentions. I really like, of course, Oladele.
Okay.
From Tribe.
Yeah.
As a rapper. Freestyle, obviously, also from Tribe as a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. Someone who I haven't met that I really like is Magnito.
Okay.
I like him because he raps in Hausa.
Me too.
And I just think we need more people that do that.
Right.
And he's very creative.
Right.
So Magnito, Blaq Bones I enjoy because he's also very creative.
Mm-hmm.
How could I not mention Phyno?
Yeah.
Right? How could I not mention man, there's someone in my mind now I'm losing. Of course, Move 9.
Right.
Like people have done this and
right.
have done it really, really well. I feel a little bit weird when I'm being limited to 5.
I
just wanted to just throw in those
sure.
guys.
No, it's all right. I mean, with hip hop, even in the night, because a lot of when I would ask certain people who maybe they're not big fans of Nigerian hip hop, but they know these names, they've heard of them, whether they're recent or maybe classic albums or classic work or singles.
Right.
And I tell people like Nigeria has a lot of rappers.
Oh yeah.
It's not like everyone. Yes, we have,
we have a lot of rappers.
Right.
Naija C, there's Ike Chukwu, there's Sauce Kid, there's Bills. If
right.
you're talking about even like the newer generation.
Exactly.
There's so many people. There's Ice Prince. We have a lot of rappers.
A lot, so, yeah. And I think it's important for us to highlight our people that do these things at a very high level, if not the highest level.
Yeah.
Because there's some Nigerian rappers that I know they're better than some of the American rappers that I like or the UK rappers.
Sir, I tell you for free.
Right.
That of the rappers that have come out since the year 2010.
Right.
If you just say, okay, regardless of where you're from, let's just put all the rappers in the pool. I guarantee you the top 10 rappers, period, in the world, 5 of them are from Africa.
Yeah.
5 of them.
Right.
At least 5. And this includes everybody. I'm talking everybody, including Drake, including, you name it. 5 of them are from Africa. There's some South Africans there. There's some Ghanaians there. There's some Nigerians there. So yeah, that's my take.
No, sure. And I agree with you. I feel like when I listen to Nigerian hip hop, it's just as good, if not better, than a lot of the rest of the world.
Bro, content-wise, it definitely is better. Yeah. It's more intentional. It's more creative.
Right.
Can you compare let's just, and this is not me like just blowing smoke, right? But can you compare, really, what you would consider as the top 10 rappers in America? Can you compare any one of them lyrically to MI?
No.
Can you? It's not possible.
Right.
They're just not that good creatively.
Creatively.
Now, do they understand the context of what MI is saying? Maybe not. But creatively, they're just not that good.
Right.
So we do have really, really good rappers, you know, in Africa, and MI is just one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think what a lot of rappers do in other countries outside of Nigeria is what they do is that they market themselves a little bit better, or maybe they have maybe a machine backing them. But the creativity, as you stated, is something I think that we're very highly, you know, in.
Yeah.
But
yeah. No, I think the reason why hip hop isn't quite as successful, in this personal opinion, albeit backed by what I consider to be facts, is we don't have a big enough market in Nigeria to sustain it.
Right.
If we did, then we would be very competitive, which is why I like what's happening now with digital, because now a lot of our guys are able to seep into these other markets. Right. And that's why most people are seeing success today.
Okay. You brought up other rappers from other African countries. I don't know if it's true, I don't know if you've experienced this, but is there, or have you experienced any like unspoken rivalry between Nigerian rappers and South African rappers, or Nigerian rappers and Ghanaian rappers?
Oh yeah. When we initially started going to South Africa, that was clear. It was apparent. It was apparent. And I thought initially that it was just, maybe just because we're different and they feel like we're too loud. Right. But over the years, or at least over the decades, it appears that there's some type of just weird feeling towards Nigerians. Right. And I think it just has to do with our character. Like, we are out there, we don't care about we have a superiority complex, so to speak, where when we're in the room, nothing else matters but us. And that must rub people off the wrong way. Yeah. And this is probably why, you know, Ghanaian artists might feel some type of way as well. Like, all these Naija people, after all, this sound that you people are doing is, I mean, some of it is from us, right? And you'll hear maybe even some South African artists too say, like, oh, Nigerians always copying our stuff, and then they blow it up, and then, you know, the only advantage they have is their population, which isn't really true. Right. And it's really just about the fact that we are the most confident Africans on the planet. Actually, we are the most confident Black people, period, on the planet. When we walk into a room, it's only a Nigerian that walks into a room and does not in any way, shape, or form consider himself to be less than anybody else. I don't care where you're from. Right. So and that's the reason why we're successful. So it's not necessarily that we're better rappers than the South African rappers or even the Ghanaian rappers. We just got more swag.
Right. I would agree. So I'm with you on that.
It's just more swag.
All right. So stepping away from the music, in today's time regarding the Nigerian diaspora, back home, abroad, you know, wherever we are, there's a lot of things going on. We have the 2023 elections in Nigeria. How do you feel about just the election process in total? The result, the campaigning, the people, the voting process. Were you aware of some of the things that were going on?
Everything that I saw was on social media. Okay. So maybe I'm not qualified to really speak on things from a factual standpoint, but my experience, what it appears is that it was not a good election. Like, it appears it wasn't fair, it wasn't free. There are people that I know personally, artists even, who were prevented from being able to vote. So there was a lot of malpractice. There was a lot of
voter suppression.
Voter suppression. I think this probably is the worst of it that we've ever had, at least in my adult life in Nigeria. Like, you know, people being prevented from, you know, voting, people being bullied into voting, you know, in a certain way, people being muscled into doing all kinds of things, people being attacked either online or in person. So yeah, so based on that, obviously, and it's also a reflection of the candidates, right? And the mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you feel like, oh, this is a all or nothing game that we're playing, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes, even if it means like disrupting, killing, suppressing, doing whatever to get in, then we have what we have.
Right.
Yeah. So it was really sad to watch, and it feels to anyone who's paying attention to, you know, on ground or on social media, that the candidate that won was not the favorite. You know, but then again,
right.
It's kind of happening even in the U.S., right? Right. So it's like this whole democracy thing. Like, we got to figure it out because, yeah, some things just aren't making sense.
Right. Okay, and then we also have an upcoming presidential election here in the States. I think Joe said he's coming back. He wants to come back.
Not sure why, but yeah.
And then we also have Mr. Red. He said
not sure why he's trying to come back here. Like, I don't get it. What's with these old people? Like, so we're in a very unique time in history where we're moving from the software and digital age into the artificial intelligence age. And we have people who need to make decisions that will impact a world that they're not going to be a part of, who are struggling to stay in power. I don't understand it. Like, I don't get it. The Vice President of the United States, I don't think is qualified to lead a committee on artificial intelligence. There are conversations about that right now. Kamala Harris is sort of being positioned as, you know, the one that's going to lead this group that's going to figure out a way to regulate AI and blah, blah, blah,
some
blah,
sort
blah,
of
blah,
oversight.
Blah. She doesn't know diddly squat about what's going on. When are we going to, and this is just now we focus on America, right? When are we going to get to the point where we make positions like that attractive to the people who have the most knowledge and can help us make the best decisions?
Right.
Like, why are we always leaning and trying to make this about the person with the loudest microphone? Donald Trump became president because this is a competition of popularity. Yeah. So, hey, if I'm popular, I can just come up here, say whatever, and I can become the president, right? So if that's the game that we're playing, and we think we're so smart, how can we not see that that's the game that we're playing?
Right, exactly.
How can we not see that the best person to be trying to help us with this whole AI thing are the people who created the damn thing? Exactly. Why aren't they the ones who are telling us, trying to help us figure out how to regulate it? Right. Why does it have to be politicians? You know? And unfortunately, I feel like I have a bit of an answer because I've been doing a bit of research about it. Yeah. And really just deep diving into it. I feel like I want to be careful about how I say this, but I feel like political office is not attractive to the best people. Yeah, I would agree with you. It's attractive to people who want power and want control of the people, resources, things. Right. And that's troubling, especially kind of seeing the cusp of what we're about to become as human beings, right? From a technology standpoint, we're shifting significantly from how we've existed into a totally different kind of existence. Right. We need people who understand what's about to happen. Otherwise, have you seen the movie Don't Look Up? Yes. It feels to me like that movie is playing out right now. Wow. That's how I feel. So, from a Yankee standpoint, yes. And now, if you shift that and go look at the Nigeria situation, it's even worse. Right. It's even worse. Right. You know, while everybody's trying to move towards green energy, and we're trying to go electric, and we're trying to do this, and then we have people who the current president or the president-elect that we're about to have in Nigeria I'm from Lagos State. He's a mobster, bro. Yeah. He's going to do things the way he knows to do things. Right. And that's not what we need right now. Right. So the only way it works out is if he recognizes that he's not the one to make the decisions because he doesn't have the capacity to make the decisions that puts Nigeria in the place it needs to be for it to be able to thrive. America is struggling. The UK is struggling. Yeah, everywhere. Talk less of Nigeria. And it's these 70, 80-year-olds that just won't let go. They just won't let go. And I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't.
Wow. Well, I would love to keep the conversation going. We've reached our limit, but I hope we can do this again, and we can hopefully talk about some of these things because these things are super important. Thanks again for coming.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. This has been great. This has been great.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All
and
right.
I'd definitely love to do it again. So,
okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Let me know.
Sounds good, man. All right. For more DXR media content, follow us on our socials. More content's on the way.